Well, hey there, happy day 912 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Verbally and videographically, if that's a word, using video to document my journey from the offline brick and mortar world of corporate America and alarms going off. From corporate America, over a quarter century in corporate America, in some of the coolest companies on the planet, right? I worked for some really amazing companies. My first company out of college was one of the biggest personal care products in the world, big company, and they've actually bought up some of our biggest competitors back when I was working for them. Over the last couple of decades, they've purchased up, a lot of the other personal care companies that keep them just a giant and a behemoth. And some of the family-owned companies, all different types of companies in different industries, while on the side, I've got 47 years of business experience. I started my first business when I was 13, running different businesses in different industries and different types of businesses over those decades. And I decided in 2017, as part of my divorce and part of changing and separating all those assets, that I wanted to do something different. So I decided, hey, I've always been interested in the internet, but I've never really explored it or done anything with it, been busy doing other things. Here's my opportunity to figure out what that's all about. And of course, I wanted to think it was different than my offline business experiences, but if I look back at my path and the way I did things to learn and grow in the offline world, I've actually done some of the very same things in the online world. Now, they have different names: shiny object syndrome, or not being focused, or picking one thing, or different strategies that are applied online that actually were applied offline, but just in different ways. And I'm sharing what's working, what's not, when I get shiny object syndrome, when I go down the wrong trailer path, when we try things that don't work, when we have ideas that go over like a lead balloon. That was our idiom today for supersize your business: go over like a lead balloon. And I just share what I'm doing. What am I doing? What's working? What's not? And right now, my big thing is challenges. I have loved challenges my entire life, especially since my 20s, when I had health challenges, and every decade's had its area of challenges. But since my sudden cardiac arrest, I've done a lot more physical challenges and health challenges personally than I've ever done before, and as well as business challenges. Business challenges to me are a motivating factor. Today's lesson for the Get Up and Go Challenge, the new Get Up and Go Challenge, is starting August 1st. Today's lesson was all about there's no such thing as can't. My dad used to say to us girls growing up all the time, whenever we would tell him we can't do something: I can't mow the lawn, da-da-da-da-da, or whatever excuse, fill in the blank. I can't, do my homework, whatever excuse, fill in the blank. He would say, his always line would be, and it went over like a lead balloon to us sometimes: hey, there's no such thing as can't. Tell me why you don't have your homework done. Tell me why you can't mow the lawn. Tell me why you can't clean off the kitchen counter. Tell me why you can't do whatever. And so it was one of the lessons I learned over and over and over again my whole life, and that we can try to make excuses, but they didn't usually work on my dad, and to be honest, they don't usually work on ourselves. We try to make excuses and bring things up and justify why we do or don't do certain things, but we always know, right? We always know in our, I got a decent string on that now. We always know in our subconscious and in our minds if we're fibbing to ourselves or not. Now, we can convince other people that we have good reasons that we can't do something. Tell your boss, I can't take on that big project that you're talking about because I've got all this other work. And it's true, you have all this other work, but could you really not take on that new thing, that new project? Remember, corporate America was really interesting for me because I think I came in with a different philosophy than most people that go into jobs and corporate jobs. And it's because I grew up, and my dad had always had a corporate job and did businesses on the side. And so I don't know, I just believed that's what you did. So in corporate America, I always had some kind of a business or some kinds of a side hustle, not a hustle, I hate that word hustle, but a side gig going on the side. And for 37 years of that, it wasn't until, actually it was the beginning of my career, that I got involved in the Italian food business. I guess it was a few years into my corporate career that I had the side gig, which was the Italian food manufacturing. And I think it gave me a different perspective on on decisions and processes and systems and things that came down the pipe, because things in corporate America always come from the top down, right? Very seldom do they come from the bottom up. It's leadership sets the tone and the direction for the entire organization most of the time. And so I think I understood the thinking behind the decisions in a more in-depth business ownership type of way. Hey, if I owned the business, I would do the same thing. I would expect us to do these things. I would expect us to honor the systems and the processes that are created to make the business run better. But as an employee, or especially the lower you are in the organization, it's hard to understand the thinking that goes behind those decisions. And so I think it better prepared me and allowed me to find better ways of presenting that to the people that worked for me than other people did. And I would understand and get. I mean, I remember my last job in corporate America when I got let go because the business was sold to another business. I remember the conversation with my boss, and he's like, he saved me like for one of the last people, I think, because he thought I was going to take it badly and I was going to be all dramatic and cry or something, maybe because I was a woman, I don't know. But he was like, I can't believe how well you're taking this. And I'm like, okay, 8 months ago when we first started hearing about the inklings that the company was going to be purchased by somebody else, I started to set up and prepare my team for what they needed to do to be successful, because I knew I was going to be gone. At some point, I was going to be let go. From a business decision standpoint, the resources that required to keep me as an employee of that business and that company were like 5 times that. Well, they were like my entire team added together. So I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. I've trained these people. I've set them up for success so that they can roll up and take over everything that we've put in place. So of course I'm going to be the one to go. So from a business standpoint, I understood that, and it was easier for me to prepare and then say, okay, well, what am I going to do next? And I had already got that set up and ready to go too by the time it was time for me to transition out and leave that company, leave that organization. So we just have different perspectives based on our individual experience with things. Plus, you know, how much time do you want to spend being upset over something that you really have no control over? If you can't control it, you can control how you respond to it. And that's been my choice. Not always. Hasn't always been my choice. When I was younger, oh my God, I reacted to everything. But when we know better, we do better. So Get Up and Go Challenge, August 1st, launching this coming Saturday is August 1st. You know, August 1st is a Saturday. Would anybody tell you that you should launch a challenge on a Saturday? They would say, no, don't do it. Don't have a challenge on a Saturday, because you need to have it Monday through Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm not even going to get into that. We'll talk about it during the challenge. My challenges are definitely different than anybody else's challenges, and that is absolutely positively intentional, because the challenge is for you. It's not for me to market to you anything. It's to share information and to give value. That's the overriding purpose of every single challenge that I do. I think I've had a couple where I've offered something at the end, but I didn't like that, so I don't do it anymore. My challenges are all about giving value. They're not about finding a way to launch my products or services on you. Don't need to do that. Don't want to do that. The people that I want to work with find me and come to me. I love attraction marketing. I know that's a new thing, but I think that marketing is fun and awesome as it is, and as much as people treat business as a game, life isn't about that. Life's about making the world a better place, experiencing our life as only we uniquely can, and becoming the best version of ourselves. And that doesn't involve sneaky tips, tricks, hacks, hustles, or manipulating other people in any way, shape, or form. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. My granddaughter's in pre-kindergarten prep for a couple hours this morning, so that gives me a couple hours to get things done that I love to get done, that I've been kind of switching around since COVID-19. One thing I've learned is the more flexible we can be with how and when we do things, the happier we are. If we expect things to be different than they are, that's the definition of frustration for me now. So now I just accept the way it is and then ask myself, what am I going to do about it? What does this mean to me? All right, have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, please join us on August 1st. And guess what? It's going to be recorded, so you can listen to it anytime. because I don't take my stuff down. If you were to go to the Get Up and Go challenge page right now, you would see a short version of a challenge, a 30-day challenge, a 40-day, which is really 48-day challenge, and I think today was day 9 of our preliminary information leading up to the next challenge. Today's was all about there's no such thing as can't. Yesterday's was life isn't fair, and then these are just some of the lessons that I've learned over the years. Those 2 are from my dad, but all the different lessons that we learn along the way that sometimes we forget that we even know them and have learned them. And guess what? If we don't pay attention, we're destined to repeat the thing that taught us that lesson in the first place. All right, catch you tomorrow. Have an amazing day.